Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome you to tonight's show. It is March 2nd. Why not echo now? I don't like it. But it's March 2nd, and we're going to welcome you to tonight's show. Clint, Roy, y'all want to say hi?
What's going on, good people? How y'all doing out there?
What up, everybody?
Yes, all three of us on the line today. If you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GFT radio show. If you would like to call in on the topics we're talking about tonight, the phone number is 657-383-1155. The phone lines will open up at 10:15. We also will be tweeting live throughout the show, so you can always at us, GFT_radio, if you want to comment and you want your comments read on the air. Tonight we got trending topics. We're going to be talking about things that are currently trending. The first thing up we're going to talk about is this Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj beef. Shether was the start of it, and now another one has recently dropped within the past half hour. So we're going to talk about it.
It's called Another One.
Yes. And
Hold on, before we get into that, Shether was the start of the response from Remy, but supposedly Nicki started it with the song that she did with Gucci, where she was taking shots at Remy.
Yeah.
So what was the song then? What was the song?
She did a song with Gucci, and she did a song with Jason Derulo. One of them was called Swallow, and that's how it started.
So what did she say? What did Nicki Minaj say? I didn't catch that part. What did she say?
Oh, she was just dissing her, talking about her record sales, this, that, and the third. You feel me? It was whack, to be quite honest, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's why Remy
did with the other one was called Make Love.
Yeah, Make Love. Yep.
And what she say in that one?
Basically the same thing. Like ain't nobody gonna remember the lyrics.
Well, I thought, I
go listen to that.
Because the way I looked it up, I didn't look at the backstory of why Remy dissed her. But they were friends at one point, and apparently Nicki was like, she was like, I'm for Remy or whatever case may be, and then this one left, and Remy just ripped her a new one, dragged her alongside the curb and kicked her off, and kept it pushing. Like, that's what she did.
No, I guess Nicki thought, you feel me, she was taking shots at her earlier on, but Remy had got on Power 105, the Breakfast Club. Remy did the interview. Remy was like, listen, if I have a problem with her, I have no problem with saying her name. She was like, know me. No, I'm not going to I say names. That's what I do. I never said her name. I never said nothing about her. I don't got no issue with her. And then, but I guess Nicki still felt some type of way. And that's
What's that mean? What's that mean? If the shoe fits, feel free to lace that bitch up. That's probably why she felt some type of way.
Yeah, you feel me? So now Nicki on her heels. But she said to me, I heard this new one, another one. It's all right.
Yeah.
But it ain't Shether. She should have left that
She should have laid off for a while before, or she could have put another one out first, entitled something else, and came out with Shether, because another one was a little weak. It wasn't the Shether. Shether, she really came out swinging, like she was hitting hard, man.
Yeah, she was talking about, she went from her body part, she went from her body parts to the men she was dealing with, like she went, oh man, she went in. Like I had, cause like it was on Facebook all talking about, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And for like a whole week, and I was like, I ain't listening to that. Then I finally sat down like Sunday and was like, oh man, like, woo. And then I love Nas, so she copied. I kind of piggybacked off of my baby Ether. So and I almost cut somebody out on Twitter too. It almost was a Twitter war between me and the Twitter follower, because they was like, that whack ass Ether. I'm like, whoa, sir, wait a minute. That was, Ether was not whack, first and foremost. Don't you ever think of shit like that. I was fine to smack the shit out of you. That's how I felt. I was a little bit upset about it. But, I calmed down and I was like, you know what? got with you in that conversation. I got mad. You know, I know how I feel about Nas. I almost got mad.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never really was a big fan of Remy. Like, I mean, she was all right in my book, but like back when she was out, it wasn't too many females in the rap game that was doing things, especially with her being from New York and being down with Terror Squad and all of that. I wasn't really Terror Squad wasn't my squad back then.
Oh, it was mine.
But nah. I mean, I got down with Pun, but Fat Joe and I never really got in there. And who was the other? There was another dude too that was down with them.
It was Cuban Link and Tony Sunshine always talking about most of the hooks.
Yeah.
But you acting me like you right now.
Remy was kind of weak to me back then.
No, but when she came up, but when she was on that MOP, that Annie Up remix, I think that kind of let everybody know who she was. Because, like, if you didn't really know who she was then, when MOP made that song, and then they made the remix, and then Busta Rhymes and they was all on it, that was, that was my shit.
I got into Remy when she was battling Lady Luck. Man,
I forgot all about Lady Luck.
Yeah, so I remember that rap battle.
Oh, wow.
The battle, no, I mean, that was a good one. You feel me? But she was getting that Lady Luck, you know. Some say, you know, it depends on how you feel. Some might say Lady Luck won. Some say Remy won, you know what I mean? But it definitely was a good one. I mean, that shit was years ago. That was years ago.
Yeah, that was.
Nah, I mean, so one thing, Remy been around, you know, and how I do remember, now that I think about it, I do remember Nicki saying something. Nicki was like, you know, I gave you 2 years, you know, because Remy been home 2 years now. And she like, I gave you 2 years, and you feel me, you ain't did nothing. You feel me, your album flopped, you know, that the one she just dropped with Fat Joe. I guess Nicki was bringing up the sale, you know, and that's how Remy was coming back at it. Like, listen, I own all mine.
Yeah, but this is my thing. This is my thing about like I mean, because I went on Twitter and different social media services, and people were saying, oh well, Nicki is really pop and Remy is really rock, so she can't really Nicki not really gonna come back. And then they was comparing money, and it's like at this point you can't really you can compare money, but we talk about pure talent lyrically. And that's one thing that I think people lose when it comes to hip-hop. Nowadays, is no real MCs. And when you not saying that Remy is like the official MC, but she had some skills. And Nicki not really. Nicki's more of a pop, and you know.
But see, that's the thing. When Nicki came out, Nicki wasn't pop.
No, she wasn't.
I remember Nicki from the come up. You know what I mean, the Project Hallways. I mean, on the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, rapping. So, you know what I mean, Nicki cut from that cloth. You know what I mean? That's how she got signed. That's the type of music she was putting out before she got on. You know what I mean? From my first time really hearing it was over a Biggie beat, Morning, I believe. You feel me? So it's like she cut from that cloth. I think one of them DJs, I can't think of his name right now, he said it perfect. He was like, you can tell who's hungry and you could tell who's full. You feel me? Like basically Remy hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And like Nicki, she full. She eating. She done ate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's like that hunger ain't the same.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's why I don't think Nicki shouldn't respond. All Nicki gotta do is like, cause it really don't affect Nicki money, her popularity. You know, it's like what Meek did to Drake. To me, you know, like we all know Drake won a battle.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, Meek won the war. Because everybody was looking at Drake. Drake was, especially like, you know, hip hop heads gave Drake a certain respect because we all thought like, yo, he ill with the pen, and he made good songs.
Yeah. But
see, Meek's whole point was like he got ghostwriters. He don't write all his shit.
Mm-hmm.
So now everybody don't look at Drake the same as an MC. Like everybody still love his music. You feel me? But they don't look at Drake the same as an MC no more because now we know he got ghostwriters. He's not writing everything. So now it's like, all right, well, boom. Everybody may like Drake, this song's better, but at the end of the day, Meek proves his point. And he didn't lose nothing at the end of the day. He ain't lose no money. You know what I mean? His album was still selling. He's still doing shows. None of that. Like, his popularity didn't wane. None of that.
Yeah, even when he's still making money.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, what y'all think about how Game, did y'all see how Game was coming at Meek?
Game, the Game, I love him, but he petty as hell.
Yeah, he was coming at Meek because I think somebody had posted a picture because she did a video with Future and she was posted pics. Somebody was like, it was this one pic where she had like a butt was showing and it looked like it was sagging. You feel me? Yeah. So somebody made a comment like butt drop or ass drop, and Meek liked it. You feel me? And I guess they said Meek. It say Meek Mill, but you don't really know because people could do anything with those memes. But it say Meek Mill. He liked it. So then Game was like, "Oh, you a bitch nigga." He go all on this on IG. You write all this long ass paragraph about how you a pussy, how you how you gonna do that? She made you this, that. To me, I think Game sounded like a simp. You know what I mean? Like he trying to use me to get his popularity up.
He's trying to build some popularity because, being over here on the East Coast, you haven't heard anything from Game in a while. I'm pretty sure he's probably over there doing stuff on the West Coast or whatever. But that's what it comes down to. When these artists need a quick come up real quick, they'll find some type of something to spark some type of beef or conversation or something. It always starts with some social media stuff. Just taking point to Chris Brown and Soulja Boy. You ain't heard from Soulja Boy in a minute. Now all of a sudden these dudes beefing back and forth on Facebook and social media. That's kind of what the Game's trying to do right now. He probably either about to drop something or something about to happen. He just needs to get his name back out there real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's trying to butter up the Nicki. You know what I mean? Like you look looking like a real corn.
That's how he petty as hell, and then he do shit like that. He should be a part of the Creep Squad. That's what he should be.
Yeah. But
hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. We got a caller. Hold on.
All right.
Caller, you on the line. What's your name and where you from?
It's Willie Styles. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
What up, Willie?
Hey,
what's good, brother?
What's going on? How y'all doing tonight?
You doing good.
That's what you got for us, Willie. How you feel about the Nicki and Remy situation?
Well, I've been kind of on it, since it started. My main thing is I just think it's good for hip hop because it's something that we can talk about again since the Meek Mill Drake thing. It's good for Remy, I think, because it gives her the additional not only the relevance but the additional popularity that she'll gain from dropping this and being able to increase her her sales, increase her popularity and that kind of thing. I don't think Nicki will lose anything behind it other than a little respect in the streets, especially right now that she's she's 2 days in or 3 days in not responding. It's that's about the only thing she'll lose. Her fan base is so strong and so loyal. I don't think she's going to lose anything behind it. I think what it will do for her though is it'll give her the opportunity to kind of reinvent herself. You know what I mean? She might go back to, everybody keeps saying she'll go back to the itty bitty piggy, Nicki Minaj, but I think that's still a reinvention, right? She'll take this current Nicki Minaj and turn her into that raw, rugged, grimy, kind of Nicki Minaj.
That Roman revenge from
Exactly. And really just kind of get back to that, gain back some additional fans, make her album, have some anticipation, you know what I mean? So I think, because I mean, I'm a big Nicki fan, but I'm kind of tired of the Pink Print stuff. You know what I mean? All this poppy rap. So I'm looking forward to hearing her. I mean just the line she dropped in Gucci's song was like hype to me. You know what I mean? Just that little bit that she gave us, and I kind of think that she should stick to the Jay-Z formula where she's doing pure subliminals, but direct subliminals, right? Which I think that formula is a good formula. You know what I mean? Jay-Z's perfected it, right? He's good at making that subliminal so direct, but yet it'll still be hidden in the future. You know what I mean? So his songs will never be muddled down. Like you can't go to a Jay-Z song and be like, well, he was referring to this person back then. Now the song is out of date. He never refers to a person by name, or so it's like the flavor of the song remains, but right now we know who he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it gives us something to talk about for years to come. So I think she should stick to that formula the way she did in the last couple of songs with Gucci and with Jason Derulo. So
did y'all see? Go ahead, Sonny.
I was going to say, I said, I was telling the fellas before we started the show that she basically posted something on her Instagram with Beyonce, and that was just, I guess that was her little, if it was a response, that's what it was. Like she just, Beyonce was singing like Nicki, blah, 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 like she was praising her in this little snippet of this song or whatever thing she was doing, and that was it. That's the only thing she posted about I guess, the reaction to what Remy made.
Right.
So,
yeah, I think that was. Yeah, I mean, everybody keeps saying that was a response from her. I mean, yeah, I think it's a response, but I don't think it was a strong response. Like some people kept saying, she's kind of meeking it up right now, right? She's kind of taking the Meek Mill route where she thinks what she's putting out is going to be, taken as a strong response, but it's not strong, and she really needs to come out with something that's going to hit a little harder. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I mean, quiet as it's kept, that Remy diss track was ridiculous, right? She put all the business out there, back, forth, front, left, right, everything. I mean, she took it to the anals up to the top, to the peaks. So she just gotta come. Nicki's gotta come back with something. You know what I'm saying? But I think the hard part for her
especially after she mentioned her brother.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
She went on her brother. Exactly. She went in on the dude she was with. She went in on everything.
Yeah.
I mean everything. Her contract, her relationships, her body, what she used to do, what she's finna do. I mean, she did it all.
Sexually transmitted diseases and everything.
Yeah. So now this is the thing I was saying though. I think even if Nicki does come back with a response, Remy needs to not respond after this, because anything else she does will muddy up what she's already done. I think she'll kind of how Drake almost blew it when he was doing his battle with Meek. That I think that first song or I can't remember which song it was. One of the songs was really whack.
Yeah,
right?
Charge Up was horrible.
The Charge Up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
that person was the bomb.com. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, what?
Right. So I think Remy needs to. This needs to be the end of it for Remy, because what is she going to follow up with, right? I mean, she done said everything. Ain't nothing else to say. If she would have split this up, it might have worked out. But it's she done said everything. Anything else, she'll just be repeating herself. So I think it's a wrap for her. She just needs to ride this wave.
But hold on, guys. We have another caller. Hold on. Is it going? Caller, are you there? No, they dropped the call? Okay, they dropped the call. Hopefully they call back. Whoever that was, call back.
Drop the number for him, Sonny. Drop the number for him.
Oh, definitely. It's 657-383-1155. We are now accepting calls. We're talking about the Remy Ma diss to Nicki Minaj. We're definitely talking about that. So if you feel like you want to chime in, definitely call in.
We'll hop into the next one.
Yeah, we're definitely going to hop into the next one. Next one we're going to talk about is the comedian Just Hilarious for posting that picture of her with her son. She was nude, and he actually had on boxers. And she had a couple pictures that she posted. One when he was sitting on her lap. The other one when she was holding him while he was like leaning forward, and she was laying forward with him, or like over top of him with some type of hugging situation. But she didn't have the clothes on. She got a lot of backlash with this. A lot of people supported her. A lot of people didn't agree with the photo. So I'm going to ask everybody, do you think the photo was appropriate or inappropriate? And then we can explain why. Just let me know if it's appropriate or not.
Inappropriate.
Well,
I'm going with inappropriate.
Willie?
Well, that was
me.
really. I'm going with inappropriate too.
Oh, y'all sound
that was really. But I'm going with inappropriate too. But let me add that I understand the artistic view that they were going for in that picture, but I think at that age, it was a little inappropriate. I know pretty sure everybody has seen like pictures with newborns and parents didn't take the picture. Well, not even parents, I would say moms, because Clint brought this up before we started. Like flip the scene. What if it was a dad posing with his daughter? It'd be a whole nother story. But I can understand where they were going with that picture. But at that age, for that young man, the little kid, like I think he was a little too old to be in that position of taking a picture like that.
Right.
Yeah. To me, it's definitely inappropriate. It's not something I would do with my son. This is shit that you just shouldn't do, and that's one of them. That's me personally, and as a mother, I don't care how artistic it is. If it's a newborn baby, that's different.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's different because, and even in the maternity, even in them type of pictures, the woman's kind of covered a little bit, and it's different, you know. But that was not the way to go.
Right. I mean, me myself, I agree. I'm sorry. Is that J. Rowe in the background over there was saying earlier? Yes. I think I agree with J. Rowe in terms of what he said about the artistic thing. I agree it's artistic. I agree with the idea, but at that age, that's where I had to draw the line. That he was too old. He was just too old.
Yeah, he's a preschooler. Like my son is pre-K age. I'm not about to do that with him. Like I just think, and that's the thing. Like when J. Rowe and Clint said that. Like if there had been something that Clint did with his daughter, I'm pretty sure somebody would have had to said something about it.
Yeah, actually, this came up. This came up a few years ago, where a grandfather took pictures with his granddaughter, and they were in the tub, and the backlash was not like groundbreaking, like not it wasn't like hitting the roof, but it was a lot of backlash about it. I think people recognized that he was in, or they mentioned that he was in swim trunks or something, but the problem was he still was in the tub with his little girl, and it was just like, man, that was crazy, And the little girl, I think, was maybe 2. She was young. She was super young.
I remember that.
But there's no age
that.
that's appropriate with a guy. A guy's always going to get backlash on that one. I mean, it's unless it's a baby in his arms, that he maybe then. But that, other than that, any kid is not going to be a good look.
When I first seen it, like I was telling them earlier, when I first seen it, my thoughts weren't nothing about. I didn't even think that. My initial reaction was like, "Come on, man! Like she babying him. Like he too old to be baby like that." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like the old expression. You know what I mean? Let him off the titty. You feel me? Like with boys, and especially with like single mothers, with some single mothers, and this is all races. It's not just black. And I want to get into that in a second. This is with all races. It's like with single mothers, it's like with they boys, they seem to be a little bit like too you know what I mean, too clingy to him.
Well,
you know what I mean, like that. That's my king. That this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's
my
king
like, thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like treating him like that's your man. Like that's not your man. You know, my issue with her was kind of like her response. You know, it was like she was saying, you know, I hate that response. And a lot of people was defending her too. Like that's her child. She could do what she wants. And she said one thing: this is my body, this is my son, and I can do what I want. Okay, cool, right? If that's how you feel, that's your body. But you know what I mean? This notion that it's your child, you can do what you want. You can do what you want. You know, that's a human being. He's not your property. That's your son.
Well, I just want to say that.
That's why child abuse laws. That's why people have child abuse laws, because you just can't do anything because that's your child.
Yeah. This is what I want to say. As a single mother raising a son, my son stalks me all the hours, every hour. I would never make a picture like this. I would never. My son is not my king. That's not my man. And I hate when people do that. I hate when people do my man crush Monday to be their son. Like that's not nobody you can fuck. So I don't know why you're doing that. Or or like when you in situations where people like, oh, who has your heart? And like, I understand with your kids, but they're talking about relationship wise, and you say your kids. Like, I just think that's to me that's inappropriate. Period, across the board. I know that people love their kids and stuff like that, but most times when you ask questions like that, you're not asking about people's kids because everybody knows your kids should have your heart. That's number one. That's common sense. But I don't think that was appropriate. I don't think that women should call son their kings. You know, you want them to be strong black men, but you don't want them, or strong men, period. But I don't want out. You would never hear me say that my son is my king. That's just something that I just don't think. I don't understand why some women do that. That's not something I would do. But before we continue, I want to get this caller because they just called back. Let me get them in on the line. Hold on. Caller, you on the line?
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's going on, y'all, man?
That's my boy, Jabril.
Hey, man. Hey, what's going on, man?
The other one.
It's the other one. Hey, man, I'd like to let y'all know, man. Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'd just like to let y'all know, man, I really enjoy y'all's show, man. You guys really got some hot topics. And, you know, other than the Drink Champs, y'all my next favorite radio talk show I listen to. You know, y'all doing a really good job, man. Salute. What we talking about tonight?
Well, first we was talking.
Go ahead, Clint.
First we was talking about the Remy Ma Nicki Minaj situation, and then we was talking
overrated.
about then we was talking about the IG with a girl. With a comedian, she was naked. She had a picture with her son on her. He was partially naked too. He had on like boxers or some shorts or something. And I mean, she had a picture where she was laying back. He was straddling her, stuff like that. You know, which one you want to comment on?
Yeah.
He said right.
First of all, First of all, I like to say one thing that. All that rap battle, man, you know, at the age we at right now, I'm pretty sure everybody, you know, is grown and mature and got families. But that shit is overrated. That's entertainment. Nobody's taking that, you know, that shit serious. You know, on the other tip, that's a mother. She birthed that child. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if the father was in the picture, I'm pretty sure, you know, he would not have that picture taken. But we need to get back to that whole black family, you know, that whole, you know, mother and the father in the household, because nowadays, you know, people are just doing all types of crazy stuff, right? So I haven't seen the picture. I heard about it. I really can't comment on it, but that's her discretion of what she wants to do as far as, you know, to show the love and the bond. It was a picture of a bond. She was trying to show a bond between her and her son. Everybody else that makes something out of it.
I have a question. Because Clint kind of fixed this before we started the show. We were talking about it before we started the show. So if that had been a father and his daughter that's in preschool, and the father was naked, and the little girl had on a pamper or underwear or something, would you think that would be appropriate too?
Well, no, I don't think that's appropriate either, because at the end of the day,
it shouldn't be appropriate for either the children.
No, he said it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to look at the glass half full, half empty. That's how I look at it.
This is my thing. I believe it's like a double. It is sort of, kind of a double standard. You feel me? Like it is a double standard with things. You know what I mean? Because we look at the mother as a nurturer. You feel me? So some things like that, and like I was watching one video a brother brought up. He brought up other cultures. He's like, in other cultures that would be deemed normal. And then like one point of breastfeeding. A woman can breastfeed for years, breastfeed her child for years.
That's just too much. That's just too much. And I'm just that's just too
that's natural. But technically that's natural.
No, it's natural, but if the kid got teeth, you shouldn't be breastfeeding your child.
Yeah, but it depends on your circumstances. That's the only way he can eat.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Right. In a third world country, they don't have no choice in a third world country. You either gonna get gonna get the milk from the cow, or you gonna have to, what God gave you. You gonna feed your baby what God gave you, or nurture it, because you are not gonna see your child, go without, because that's a form of, nurturing. Because like the Clint said, is former circumstances. We don't have no Similac or baby formulas or all them necessities in third world countries. So it's the norm over there. What's the norm in other countries is shunned upon in this country.
Yeah, it's all culture. It's all about culture and circumstance. It's all culture and circumstance. Perspective too. Like you said, we don't have to agree with it, but if that woman's perspective is that she wants to show her bond in this way, then that's her choice. I mean, I think we have to look at it from the point of, is it malicious, or is it with, or is it in good intent? And the fact that he was partially clothed, she was naked. In our mind, it's wrong, but for her, she felt like it was with a good intent, right? So she's not going to be in a lot of trouble over it. I mean, what would happen if she had to go to court over it? If she got they said, hey, this was indecent exposure to the child, or this was abuse to the child. How would the courts look at it? They might look at it one way or the other. She can't go in there and say, hey, this is my body, this is my child, I can do what I want. She can't say that. Like the Clint mentioned, because that's gonna be tossed out like, nah, it don't work that way.
Yeah.
Because determining what's abuse of a child versus what you feel is two different things. I can whoop my kid all I want, but if the court say, that whooping a kid is wrong, they gonna find me wrong, right? So I think in the court of social media, we do kind of have to look at it as was it with malintent or not. And I'm sure she wasn't trying to do nothing bad to her kids. She wasn't trying to scar them. I agree with I think J. Rose said that it was babying them, but I think that unfortunately in this day and age, the way some mothers raise their kids, they don't realize that that's what they're doing, right? They don't realize the way that they're raising that kid up to I won't say to be soft, but you know what I mean. It that's what it results in, right? Soften them up a little too much.
Let me ask y'all.
I'm pretty sure. Go ahead.
Let me ask y'all another question.
I'm pretty sure.
Because this was another.
I'm pretty sure we were growing up. We all got ass whoopers in public places, in front of family members, family friends, whatever. But as the time turned, and as modern day times came, you put hands on kids these days. You're gonna be reprimanded. Instead of you reprimanding your child, then that means you gotta now be soft on them. That makes them not realize the lessons of home training. We got to go back all the way. Like, for every step that we take 10 back in society, period. And social media is a lot to do with it, because if that wasn't social media right now, that woman and that child would not be getting all this flack right now.
Correct. Exactly.
That's the question. That's the next question I want to get to, because now, she put that out there. You feel me? We always say a picture worth 1,000 words. But what people don't understand, that 1,000 words don't necessarily mean from you or from the person in that picture. That 1,000 words is from everybody, because that picture is, when you put that out there, you leave it up for interpretation. And you leave it up there for people to criticize you. Because at the end of the day, she posted it for attention. Now, whatever attention you get, whether it be positive or negative, so whatever type of attention you get, whether it's positive or negative, she has to accept that. Yeah, so it's like she can't get mad. She can't get mad at people who have a problem with it, because
she put it out there.
She put it out there, and it leaves it up for other people's interpretation and imagination. And now, because the reason why I brought it up, because I don't know if some of y'all know the comedian Corey Holcomb. Yeah. Now, what Corey Holcomb said, he's a comedian, and if y'all don't know him, he uses harsh language. He got him a podcast, 5150 Show. Shout out to them. Shout out to Miss Lips. She be shouting us out on Twitter, and she be hitting me up on IG. You feel me? She the one that put me on to the show. So, he said, now he used harsh language, and I really don't agree with the language, but people got to take in context too that he's a comedian. But so it's like some truth in the joke. He was like, this is what's wrong with the black community. You got whores like that who are turning their sons into bitches.
Damn.
When
he went in.
He went in. So when he said that, when he said that, he caught so much drama and so much backlash on Twitter, but he also got a lot of support. And I noticed most of the support were from men, and most of the pushback was from women. But there were some women.
You made a generalized statement.
Yeah, it was some women that were supporting him as well, because they understood the point he was coming from. He even went on TMZ. They brought him on TMZ to interview him about it, and he do his thing, where he talking about it seriously, but at the same time, he being a comedian. So it was this white lady interviewing him with the white man. The white lady was getting mad. He was getting under her skin because he wasn't, they was like, damn, you was kind of harsh with your language. He was like, I'm telling the truth. He's like, it is like that. He's like, people don't want to accept it, but that's what's wrong with the black, or one of the things that's wrong with the black community. And, it's kind of what, like, Jabril was just bringing up about the men not being there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because if his father was there, we don't know, to be quite honest, we don't know. But in my opinion, as a man, if the father was there, the father would have been like, nah, we're not doing no picture like that. You feel me? And then, once he went on that, she caught wind of it, and then she was responding, and that's when she came up with that response, like, this is my body, that's my son, I can do what I want.
That's
she was looking for attention.
She's calling him a fake comedian and all this other mess.
Yeah. What you was about to say, Jabril?
That's what I was bringing up.
No, what I was saying.
Saying that at a certain age, like that guy, like the kid is too old for that. Like, I mean, I can understand at a certain age, at a younger age, maybe if the father, even if the father was around, if the father wasn't around, at a certain age, that stuff like that needs to be cut out. Like that age difference or the age of the kid made that picture is like a borderline of appropriate and inappropriate, being how old the kid was.
So let me say this. Can I say one thing? Let me say this one thing. Let's take it vice versa, right? All right. In the black community, everything that we do on social media is always criticized. Everybody has an opinion to it, right? And it's always negative. So now let's look at it from the other perspective. Now, that was a white mother and a white child. That would have been a beautiful, cute picture, right? In the media, right?
Not it wouldn't have been. To me personally, I don't see it as black and white. I don't see it as like just a black mom and a black son. I see that's just he's too old for that shit, and that just shouldn't happen. And it's just not. It's not appropriate. It's not a newborn baby. It's a preschooler. That this is not appropriate. I don't care what race or nationality it is. It's not appropriate. And if you put that on social media, you're gonna expect to hear like. And that's why I hate people do stuff on social media and get mad when people respond. If you don't want to buy a pin on it, don't post it on social media. You can't put something up and make it where it has comments that people can like or dislike it. Yeah, some people may like it and some people might not like it, and you have to understand that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, man. It's a double-edged sword, man.
I personally don't think that the media would have accepted it anymore from a white family either. I think they would have still given her. If they would have given her, a lashback about it, there wouldn't have been any. I mean, it might have been a little harsher in a way, from one side. I mean, but it would have still been, a backlash behind it. I mean, a lot of the breastfeeding backlash is all against white women. You got to think about that. It's not a lot of black women that are in that movement. It's a predominantly white, movement in terms of how it's being portrayed in the media. They usually are right on top of those white women that are doing it, that are taking pictures and posting it, and anyone that's getting harassed in the general public, it's mostly white women. So it's I mean, I'm sure it's happening to black women too, but it's a lot more of them there. So, but yeah.
I mean, even like something that me personally as a mother, even when I was in the hospital when I was with my daughter and I was breastfeeding, I waited until people weren't around, and if they were around, I said, well, listen, this is what I'm about to do. So you had the opportunity to either leave if you didn't want to be a part of it, or you had the opportunity to stay. Or even if you were there, I would cover her, appropriately, because I don't want people to feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to feel uncomfortable while I'm doing what I'm doing, even though it's something that mothers do, and we shouldn't be uncomfortable about it. But, in certain places, you're mindful of the people around you and stuff like that, and the surroundings and stuff like that. Right. So you have to look at things like that when you do social media, whether it's posting a picture of you and your kids, like even posting a picture of your naked child on any social media account, it might cause backlash because that's child porn.
Yeah. Right.
So
yeah.
You have to think about it.
I was say now.
So you kind of have to think before you post.
That was my next question. Right, that was my next question is in terms of the age of the kid and what you're posting of them wearing, in either in social media or whatever. A lot of people I've been seeing posting pictures. I mean, especially I usually think about this with the little girls because I got a lot of daughters. So, but when they're posting pictures of their kids in two-piece bikinis and topless and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, dude, this isn't a iron baby. This is a 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old, and you got them, out here, all over the internet with these pedophiles and carrying on. So I just think it's, I think for me personally, I feel like it's inappropriate. I feel like it's something that shouldn't be done. But I know a lot of people just be like, oh, it's a cute little kid.
I want to say something. Listen, I had this crazy story at my job where I work at, right? And at the end of the day, you don't know nobody like you think you know them, all right? So we got this guy that worked. Well, he worked with us, whatever, right? So come to find out, just recently, Homeland Security, ATF, and all whatever, the FBI, whatever, right? Raided his house, and doesn't got nothing to do with race, black, white, or whatever, right? It was a general male, okay, an older cat, okay. Every day come to work, got a teenage daughter, whatever. Come to find out, he got busted for child pornography. And this is a 40, 45, 50-year-old dude got busted for child pornography. All right. Had over almost 800 pictures and videos of child pornography. And I worked with this dude literally for years. So, the character at work and behind closed doors in private sessions is two different people. So out here in this world, you don't know who they are behind closed doors.
Right.
And then your friends on Facebook, you posting your picture, you posting kids naked on Facebook.
Blown. My mind was blown. I'm like, what? What? Him? Hell no.
Right.
Get out of here.
Right.
Oh, my mind was blown. My mind was blown because at the end of the day, he has a job with responsibilities. That got nothing to do with it. But at the end of the day, you don't know people because you only know them for what they tell you and what they show you. Behind closed doors, they're a different human being. The internet, like the internet age, the social media age, everything like that, got people doing they going far out in social media and doing all types of crazy stuff to come find out you've been doing this for how many years? 7 years? Get the hell out of here, man. My mother was blown.
That's one of the things I'm glad y'all brought that up because with that situation, it made me think, because I got a daughter. My daughter's 4 years old. So now it really made me think and question myself about what pictures I post of her online. Not all, of course, on the level of what y'all talking about because, there's a lot of pedophiles out here. And you don't know who's who. It could be somebody like Jabril just said, it could be somebody that you see every day, speak to every day, smile with every day, laugh with every day. At the same time looking at your child. But another reason is
you think that's your people.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. And another reason is it goes back to where I said about the child is not your property.
Yeah.
My daughter, I don't own my daughter. You feel me? Her mother doesn't own her. So we have to keep in mind when this child gets older, these pictures are on the internet forever. They're not going nowhere. So when the child gets older, you got to think about how would that child feel as you depicting him or her that way then. You feel me?
Right.
Because
that's true.
You know what I mean? They got to live with that too, not just you. They got to live with that.
Yeah.
If it's something that you want to keep in your house, you feel me? Corey Holcomb made a point about the girl when she took that picture. He was like, is that a type of picture, would you give that picture to your grandmother? You feel me? Would you frame that picture in the house like that? You feel me? If so, that's in the privacy of your home. You do it there. Only y'all can see it. You feel me? You feel me? But, when you put it out there and everybody can see it, now the child got to grow up with that. They come back and they look at that. It's like, come on. We all know how we feel when we look at old photo albums. We from the photo album generation.
Yes.
You feel me?
Right.
So when you go back and you look at them, you feel me? You go back, you look at some of them old pictures in that photo albums, like, yo, Ma, you got to get rid of this. Nobody can see that. You feel me? I don't want nobody seeing that. You feel me? So now we posted these pictures, you feel me? And I'm guilty of this. I posted a picture with my baby, you know what I mean? She passed out on my lap, me putting her to sleep. I look, got her, you feel me, knocked her out. Now I'm thinking damn, when she get older, she's like, Dad, why you put that, you feel me? Why you put me to sleep on the internet like that?
I did that to my daughter. I posted a video. I had a video of my daughter on Facebook, and I was showing her, and she was like, why did you post that? It wasn't anything. She was in the train station just, I don't know, she was just playing around by herself, in the middle of the train station, just having fun, and I didn't know what the hell she was doing. I actually reposted on my Facebook a couple of days ago, and I told her that, and she was like, why would you put that on Facebook? I said, because I tried to figure out what the hell you was doing, and see if I had to help me. So, like, those are embarrassing. Like you said, when you go through the photo albums, like, and that's one of the things, like, you need to go back to the photo album age up to current, because them pictures you got your kids, those are the things that you're going to remember. And everybody, that's one thing. I know I'm a offender of just putting everything on Facebook and not, like, trying to get it out of my phone and putting it on their little albums on Facebook. But at the end of the day, I want some photo albums so I can pull them out and say, sorry, remember you was a kid and you did blah, blah, look at this picture, you know, stuff like that. And it's funny that somebody mentioned the two-piece bathing suit picture. I didn't buy my daughter one because I didn't feel that was appropriate for her. I didn't like the way it looked on her. Like, certain outfits I wouldn't buy her because I just felt like it was too much for a little girl.
Yeah. You know,
social
in this
media is
generation,
the devil,
we're not
man.
allowing kids to be kids.
Not at all.
No, social media is the devil.
Oh,
Social media is the devil, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's the attention whoredom, right? Because want the attention until they get the negative attention. Then there are some people who want the negative attention and aren't happy until they have it. So, it's all over the place, man. Social media serves who it's going to serve, but for the most part, a lot of people just get, you know, not only a lot of people, but a lot of people get hurt behind it, you know. They either get butthurt because people get, you know, give them backlash about something they did, or they, you know, or you see the people who get fired from their jobs for saying stupid stuff, or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying?
Nobody even talks about nobody even really talks about real topics no more amongst amongst a certain circle of friends. Everybody always talking about what they see on social media. I had to tell one of my homeboys the other day, man, I mean, like, if you can't talk about what happened in your day, in your life today, then I don't want to talk about nothing else, bro. Like facts though, like on Jamel's too, like they be on their phones every second, and we come around each other 3 days later. They're talking about shit that happened a week ago. I'm like, bro, like, listen, man. I said, yo, did you feed your daughter today? Did you take your son out for a basketball game? Or what did you do, man? I don't want to talk about what you seen on the news flash or a throwback. I don't want to talk about none of that. Like, let's talk about what's real out here. Like, you know, let's talk about what's real out here. Like, you guys everybody's just dazed and hypnotized by social media because whatever goes up is news. But what's really news is not important to everybody else. Feel me?
Yeah. Well, you know, the way I look at it is it's the common day version of back in the day when people used to talk about what they called current events at the time, because they would either read the newspaper and they'd talk about what was in the newspaper, or they'll watch the news, or they'll watch something and they'll talk about that, right? Movie at 11, that kind of stuff. But now the information comes so fast, and it's so, like, the viral thing, all that stuff, you know. So I think that's why people put so much more emphasis on it, and it's so over rampant. Now we get tired of it, because I feel you. I sometimes I kind of feel the same way when I hear certain people, when that's, like you said, that's all they got to ever talk about, and you're like, you're already done with it. You're like, I don't ingested all that already, you know, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I don't need to hear about it no more. You know, I don't need to discuss it no more, or whatever the case may be. Or the people who don't have anything else to talk about other than the gossip and the drama from social media, or from the whatever they seeing, what they're taking in, versus the real topics, the stuff that we really need to be talking about, like this damn guy that's supposed to be our president, and you know, stuff that's happening at the local level, and healthcare and job situations and stuff like that. You know, like we should be talking about solutions to these problems.
You got to take a step back and realize what's important.
Right, exactly. And like you said, I mean, you brought up a great point when you said about, you know, like, what did you do with your kids today? What did you do? You know, I mean, when I post on social media, a lot of the stuff I do post about, you know, like, oh, you know, I took my kids to go do this, or I did this today, or I went out with some friends, or whatever the case may be. And I think that's where you got to have that balance, right? Because, I mean, I'm a social media fiend, so I do post a lot about what's going on in the world, but then I balance mine out with, you know, I'm also a father, and I take care of my kids, you know, on a regular basis. So we constantly doing stuff. You know, I take my kids somewhere new every week, and, you know, so I gotta, you know, I like to post about that, and like to show what they're doing, how they're growing up, because I want to be able to, like Sonny said, go back and see those memories later on.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. This
precious moments.
This is my thing. This is my thing about that. This is my thing about that. Especially when it comes to social media. You know, as an adult, you feel me? Like we all, this goes back to, you know, what you value. You feel me? What, you know what I mean, what you control. Because your social media accounts, like people's timelines, you know, when you hear people complaining about their timelines, what people talk about, the first thing that comes to my mind is you control that. You feel me? You decide what you want to see. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you feel as though, like, say you go on social media and you see somebody talking about the same thing every time. You know what I mean? Somebody always complaining about their boyfriend. You feel me? You could exactly. You could delete them, unfollow them. You know, you see somebody, they talking about Empire all the damn time.
The best button invented. That unfollow button, I swear to God, it ain't some shit.
So, you know, and like, and it goes back to the point we was talking about this picture. That too. You know, if that bothers somebody so much that they don't want to see stuff like that, you could quickly unfollow. You don't have to. You don't have to indulge. You don't have to indulge in the madness, especially if you know. Exactly. You know what I mean. It's going to irk you. It's going to disturb your mood. You feel me? You don't have to indulge in the madness.
You know,
who remember that teacher in Atlanta that was wearing too much revealing clothes? Remember that? Nobody talking about that no more.
Well, no, she wasn't. No, she wasn't wearing revealing clothes. She wasn't wearing revealing clothes. She was wearing work clothes, but she had a body.
Yeah,
that was the difference. She had on. She was fully clothed. She was fully clothed everywhere. She just had a body that she can't hide. It was there.
Yeah, I wish I had a teacher like that growing up. I would have complained. I would have got good grades.
Right. Grades on fleek.
Man, even that, I didn't think that was a problem. I didn't understand why people had a problem with that, because it wasn't like she was had her titties out and had her ass out. She had on a full-blown work attire.
It's always a distraction.
Hey, I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with it, me myself. But I mean, I see where some people did have a problem with it in terms of the fact that some people think that certain people should look a certain way, right? So I know where they were going with it, and then in this day and age where teachers are getting just as bad as priests when it comes to being, sleeping with their students and all that kind of stuff. And I think everybody sexualizes everything nowadays. So everything is about sex. So, as soon as they see a woman with a nice body or a nice shape, and they see her in that type of situation or that setting, they sexualize it because, right now every teacher wants your student, every teacher want to have sex with your kid. So, just like every priest want to molest your child, that kind of thing, it's all the same kind of mindset.
Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. First of all, that was a bunch of jealous females that, was complaining about that. You feel me? Because ain't no dude complaining about.
I don't know not one dude that complained. Not one.
Yeah, you feel me? If anything, if more teachers was like that,
I haven't heard
if more teachers was like that, it'd be more dads. Yeah, if it was more teachers like that, it'd be more dads at the conferences, at the PTA meetings. You feel me? Like, come on now. You feel me? That was a bunch of jealous females that came up with that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Because
true.
Because it's always, they always get you with people like that. That's why I hate arguing with some people, because they'll stick to a valid point within an argument, even though their total argument is wrong. Because the valid point is, we know as young boys sitting in class, especially if we like in middle school, and our teacher come in there looking like that, you feel me? Every boy in there,
right?
Like, damn, you feel me?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ain't nobody.
We gonna be on one.
Right.
Ain't nobody skipping that class. Like, yeah, like what you got? What you got this period? I got Miss Peaches. I'm going to Miss Peaches. Like, son, let's go to I got Miss Peaches.
I'm bringing an apple every day. I'm bringing a fresh picked apple from the vine every day.
Every day, right?
You feel me?
Right.
Grown men to be a bunch of geniuses out here teaching.
You know that.
Exactly. Bunch of geniuses walking around here.
Y'all hear these men? They over here having a whole time moment. But we have a Grow Up Live in the After Show. I'm going to give out the number again. It's 657-383-1155. I do want to bring up Jabril's topic because that topic was hilarious. So, Jabril, you want to bring it up or you want me to time it or you want to bring it up?
And it's a good one, too.
I got to find the picture.
I got it. I'm ready.
The other day. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so the picture was on Instagram, and it was saying single, saved, and still wanting sex. I still want it. A transparent conversation between about being holy and horny.
What the fuck?
So, hold on, I love his response. He was like, what the fuck? Holy and horny, yes. This is what this shit says. I need y'all to know that in church, they preach abstinence. This heifer talk about being holy and horny. I mean, it's realistically speaking, because you can be saved and still want some, but you need to pray to Jesus. I mean, I don't know.
Slippery slope, man.
You gotta have sex with the Holy Ghost.
It's been a slippery slope for a while. Like, that's why, it's like with church, it's kind of like with any. I don't know how to put it. It's like you can't allow everything, and it seems like nowadays it's like the church starting to get a little bit more lenient with things, so more things are becoming acceptable within the church. You feel me? It's a slippery slope from having. Even if people out there don't like it, but like even having gay preachers and stuff like that, it was never like that in the church.
It was never female preachers.
Yeah, it was never female preachers. But it's a slippery slope. So and I'm strictly talking about church. Do I believe that a female couldn't preach? Like I don't see why not, in my opinion. You feel me? If she know the word, if she has understanding. And somebody looking for it, I don't understand why she couldn't teach them, you feel me, or nothing like that. My thing is, when you start allowing stuff that you didn't allow before,
like
it becomes a slippery slope. Yeah, so now you get to this point, you feel me? So now you get people in church talking about, yeah, I'm here, but I'm horny. You know what I mean?
That's not church topic. That's not a church topic. That's a club topic. That's a topic that you talk to with your girls or your boys.
Exactly.
So what is she doing when she does?
I don't know because in church they treat you abstinence, and that means no masturbating, no nothing, like no sexual act. So you up there, what you doing?
Yeah, well,
yeah. I think it's contradictory, right? Because if you supposed to be, out here being saved and being holy and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, you could be horny. That's one thing, but you can't go out here and get sex if you still want to be considered saved, because it's contradictory to what you preaching. You know what I mean? You can't say, yeah, I'm out here fornicating, but I'm still saved. Like, no, it's over, bro. I mean, you can still go to church. You fine. You can go do that, but you don't when it gets to word.
That's like going to an AA meeting with a fifth of Henny. Like,
exactly.
You feel me? Like, but I mean, like sitting down, like, listen.
So don't worry, I'm willing to share. Like, no, bro.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, we all can have some.
I did this for all of us.
You can't do nothing about
it.
You can't go around here flaunting posters and flyers and having seminars and stuff about it though. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Like she really having it. I guess like my point, and that goes to my point, is like she's trying to change. You feel me? She's trying to change the dynamic within the church, and it now like the dynamic of the church has changed, man. Has changed.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, I guess. Well,
like,
okay. I'm gonna take it like this though. Hold on. I'm gonna take it like this. I think we should look at it from a perspective. I mean, I don't know. Maybe y'all know more about this than I do. I'm just looking at the picture, but based on the picture, I think we may be reading too much into it. Maybe she's trying to have the conversation about the fact that people feel this way, but what do you do to avoid the pitfalls, right? Maybe that's what she's going to have a symposium about, to discuss the fact that it's natural, right? It's natural. People have sexual desire. People have, because in my congregation, we've had the conversation before where we have whole talks about it, like, hey, and this is Jehovah's Witnesses. They number one, like, you're going to follow these rules. If you don't follow these rules, you out. Yeah. So the thing is, they still talk about it, though. They talk about masturbation. They talk about people, having desires. They talk about people, even going into the pitfall of still sinning, but having to come back from that, right? So the thing is that you do have to have these conversations, though. You can't have these conversations. Don't say that we shouldn't have this conversation about being single and being single, saved, and horny. You got to have that conversation, because if you don't, people will feel alienated from the church or from the religious thing that they're in, because they'll feel like they're not understood. They're not being served because nobody's talking about what they're going through. You see what I'm saying? So you can't not have this conversation. I think she's right, so long as that's what she's talking about. I mean, she can't change the dynamic, like you said, and say, I know you saved, but if you single, go out there and get yours. Yeah, she can't do that. But I think if you have the conversation and say, look, you're not the only person out here that wants to have sex. We all want to have sex. We all want. We all have these body, these physical desires. But if you're going to be saved, these are the steps you need to take to kind of put yourself out of that pitfall.
I guess it's her presentation.
Yeah, the presentation, like you just said, Clint.
I mean, this is about getting attention, right? She's not going to get attention if she don't draw your attention, right? So she's saying, look. Yeah. If I'd have said, let's talk about how not to sin, ain't nobody coming to that seminar. But you say single, saved, and still want to say, people coming to that seminar. They coming. They don't know what you about to talk about. But they don't come.
Like Jesus, I need you to fix it.
If I was the pastor of that church and I seen that picture of that young lady, right? If I was the pastor of that church and I seen that picture of that young lady, right? So what am I supposed to think? Everybody in that church is doing like that's how they feel?
I mean, it's nothing wrong with the picture, actually. The picture, she's fully dressed. She's the only thing that's out is her arms, and her dress is not sexy. There's nothing wrong. I mean, there's nothing sexy about this picture, actually. I mean, she's wearing a rectangle, dog. She's wearing, She got her hips stuck out a little bit, but it's not even. You can't even. She don't even have a butt. She's wearing a rectangle. It's nothing wrong.
So it's left up to the imagination, and the interpretation of what people want to say. Oh yeah, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
Yeah,
that don't mean nothing.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm getting the feeling now, looking at this again, especially from the perspective of knowing that people do have to have these conversations in the church. Is that she's really just putting this out here to kind of draw the attention and then get people in there, and she's gonna just hit them with the what you need to do is you need to pray. You need to get on your knees. She'll give them 12 scriptures that they're gonna need to read every night, and that's it. They're not about to come away with nothing different than what they'd already been told. But she gonna have a bunch of people up in that place, giving the offerings, giving the donations, or whatever the case may be. So I'm pretty sure she's not trying to change the game. She's not trying to change the game.
I got a story of a church I went to, right? I got a story of a church that I went to, right? A couple of months ago, my godson was getting baptized, and my religion denomination, I'm Muslim, right? So I went there, off the respect of my homeboy and for my godson, right? I had to get up real freaking early. I didn't appreciate that, all right? I was hungover, okay? So I had to sit there, and it was Communion Sunday. It was Communion Sunday.
Hey, you were supposed to have been up. You were supposed to have been up anyway praying, so don't worry about it.
No, but I'm saying, so this is my first time I ever been to church or whatever, right? So I'm sitting there, right? So I'm there for I know what I'm there for, but I didn't know I was going to go through the whole ordeal of sitting through 3.5 hours. I didn't know that. It was Communion Sunday, right? So I'm there for my godson. He's getting baptized. You know what I'm saying? Woo, take the pictures. My godson get baptized. I look at my man. I'm like, yo, we ready to leave? He said, nah. I said, what do you mean? He said, no, we got to start. We just didn't start. That's we just getting started. Yo, I'm telling you, I was nodding out in that motherfucker. No disrespect, but I was sleeping. They were talking. So I listened to the whole thing, right? So they said, anybody that hasn't been saved, please come walk the thing. I'm like, I'm not doing none of that. No disrespect. Dude from behind me taps me on my shoulder. He said, what's up, brother? You been saved? Like, no. I'm like, I don't know nothing about what's going on. I'm just sitting there participating because I was there. Son. So the dude tapped me. I said, huh? What'd you say? He said, hey, brother, how you been saved? I said, what's that? He said, come on, let me walk you. I said, nah, bro, hold on, wait a minute. I'm here for my godson. I'm Muslim. I said, I'm here for my godson, man. I said, I don't know nothing about that. He looked at me. He was like, all right. So they put a tray out with the little wine. I'm like, I'm thirsty. Time for some refreshment. My man looked at me and said, no, don't touch that. He said, don't touch that, man. I said, why? He said, you don't want to do that. I said, somebody want to, is there a manual for this? I don't know what's going on, man. And then before they pass the community, pass this bucket around like 10 times. I'm like, I ain't got no more money. Like, I had to, like, they want to donate.
You got a crash course in Christianity, dang.
Word up, like I really did. Word up, like, but see what it is was I was there for out of the respect, but I never wanted to this to feel like I was there to come in and get out, but I stayed for the whole procession. But the whole time, like I'm like, when is this gonna be done? I'm like there for 3.5 hours, man.
He had a Gary Owens moment about black churches, and he need to take forever.
They tried to convert him on day one. They tried to
exactly. They tried to save him. How you gonna say the Muslim man? You should have been like, I'm already been saved. I've been saved by the prophet. Don't worry about it. I'm good, homie. I'm good.
They trying to get your boy on the first day crash course. Man. I'm like, what's going on, man? Well, but I'm telling you like this, there was a lot of fine sisters in there, though, boy.
Yes.
He ain't living right. He ain't living like
I was distracted for a little bit, but I didn't get none right.
That's what I want to know. Is do people still go to church to get to date? Is that's still the thing? I mean, that was the thing in the 90s, right? And, it was like if you want to find a good mate, you go to the church.
Here's the thing with that, though. Here's the thing. It is, like Brill said, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Well, with my ex, right? Like I said, she was in the church. I always talk about, and when I used to go to her church. Now listen, it was some nice ones in there, bro. You feel me? And you feel me? It was hard. I used to like to sit in the back, like, you know what I mean? And it was hard because that's why I say church has changed. Because I remember when my mom used to take me, the women didn't dress so revealing.
Nope.
Now you go to church now, the women, they be having on these little tight skirts, these high heels, you know what I mean? They be having their figures showing. I'm like, oh, man, I can see why some of these dudes up in here. You feel me? Because I knew a couple of them dudes that was in there and they weren't right. You feel me? They was only in there for the females. You feel me? There was no other reason for them to be in there, because I know how they live outside of church, and they do not, you know what I mean, they're not no church going folk. You feel me? I know this for a fact. You feel me? So I know for a fact that I know some dudes. I ain't gonna say females, you know what I mean, but I was peeping the dudes. You feel me? I know for a fact it was a couple of them in there strictly for the females.
Oh, I know. Back in my church days, I tell you, I was a hardcore Jesus thumper. I was in church all week, like, let's go, we going to church. So I know. But, you know,
I'm telling you like this. Yeah. I'm telling you like this. If dudes, in the Christian, in if I can perfect that, if I was a Muslim and I can perfect, the Saturday night, long nights, drinking and all that, and wake up on Sunday morning, I'll be there faithfully, man.
Actually, I used to do that. I used to do that back in the day. I used to go party. I used to be up, at the club, and then go to the after hour and roll right over into the church, right the next morning, like within 2 or 3 hours, right up in mass with everybody else. I was doing it. Did it for years, man, and probably wearing the same outfit, the same outfit and everything.
Yeah, people still do it. Trust and believe. Guys, we almost got to wrap the show. I got a question. This is what I posted on our Facebook page for our question of the day, because I came across this little gem when I was in the group that I'm in. So the picture basically said, should a woman go to jail for falsely accusing a man of rape?
Yes.
Is that across the board? And you all agree with that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I posted
I posted my answer earlier, and I basically said that if she accuses but then comes back and says before anything really goes to court, I'm like, she at least needs to get a ticket. You know what I'm saying? It should be a misdemeanor. I was like, but if they go to prosecution, these dudes' lives are being taken away from them even without a conviction. We saw that happen with old boy from the movie. What's his name? Nate Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that happen to him. He didn't even get convicted. He was just on trial for it, and it ruins their lives. I'm like, yes, it
ruins people's lives. It ruins your life.
Yeah.
It ruins your life.
Happened.
Yeah.
This actually happened to my cousin. You feel me? It was in the paper and everything. Something happened with a female. It was consensual. Everything was love. I guess she felt like he dissed her afterwards, and she screamed rape. Now, before it was any trial or anything, like, they locked him up. They put it in the paper, that they were looking for him. His whole name, everything. Put it front page. They was looking for him, rape suspect.
Oh, wow.
Everybody know, you feel me? So he he didn't even know. I had to call him. It was so crazy. Let me tell you how I found out. I worked overnight, and I used to get off in the morning. His father, who lives down south, called the house. My grandmother's house at the time. I was living with my grandmother. Called the house and was like, what's going on with my son, this, that, and we like, what? Did you see the paper? I'm like, how you see the paper? Oh, he went online. You know what I mean? Boom. So he took him down to, he went down to the police station to get his side of the story. They locked him up immediately.
Wow.
Laughing at him and everything. He was in jail. Not even a chance. You feel me? So he was in jail for, for a few weeks. Until they really found out, that, she lied. There was no, absolutely no truth
Did he have a job and stuff?
to her story at all. Yeah, he lost his job, everything, public embarrassment, you feel me? Like, then at that, like, how you feel when you go into the police station, you trying to explain it, they laughing at him, throwing him in handcuffs, you feel me, in front of him, all this stuff.
Yeah,
but there's laws.
I feel very
he didn't get charged with nothing.
But there's laws in place for that, though, that can't happen, because at the end of the day, it's due process. and I know everybody's familiar with the whole law, but you can sue for defamation of character. Back in the day or whatever, it happens. You can sue, but it's not right to say for a female to make those kind of accusations, and at the end of the day, and your life be taken away from you, and your whole livelihood be ruined, and you have no chance of getting back what you had before. It's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like
the sad part to me about it.
I feel like as a female, I don't care if she recanted her story or not. You told a lie that could have tarnished somebody's life. You need to pay. Whether that person, like other Jabril said, like that person should file a suit against you for defamation of character and all stuff like that. I just think you should be reprimanded because it's talented women that do get raped. Like people don't believe them that it really happened, and you got people that sit there and lie, and then it becomes harder for the person that actually happened to be heard because they think that initially you're lying. And then on top of that, you gotta prove this shit.
Right.
So like
imagine they do that to a weak person, a weak-minded person, a weak-minded man, and they do it to a weak-minded man, and that man really believes that what she's saying is true, and he has no way of coming back and making his story stick and saying that he ain't do it. That person can kill themselves. That's detrimental to their life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And actually, so when you mention due process, I mean, look at that kid, Khalif Browder. His due process took 3 years, and over something that he didn't even steal, and that drove him to suicide because of all the abuse he took in prison for 3 years without having a trial. So it's crazy, because people go through things and the system fails them. You know what I'm saying? So somebody like your boy, he went to jail for weeks and without real due process, right? You waiting on the trial, you waiting on court, you waiting on the judges and all this other stuff to happen, and that stuff takes days and weeks and unfortunately way more time. This speedy trial thing, it don't work like that for everybody, unfortunately. And so you lose your livelihood. You lose you might lose your sense of self.
I just think that's not something that you should play with. That's not something that you should lie about. I don't care if you go back later on and say, no, I lied, blah, blah, blah. That's a negative. You need to be locked up and everything because that's detrimental to somebody's life. Like, you don't understand what that few things that you say can cause somebody to do. And also, I want to take it a step further. Sometimes when the parents aren't getting along or something like that, when they have the kids lie and say that their other parent molested them, something like that, I think that's also a no-go. It should be prosecuted because you're causing your child to be traumatized, thinking that something happened to them and it was a lie, or just people do crazy ass things, and it boggles my mind as to why you would do something to that severity.
Stuff like that.
All our spite.
Stuff like that can get you killed as well. That's another thing. Because say, certain people maybe like you just said, maybe react different. So Brill brought up somebody may commit suicide. But somebody else may get so angry. It don't matter. Say my cousin could have came out. It don't matter. He got out of jail in a few weeks. You feel me? That's a stain. He could have felt like that was a stain on him. He could have went vicious. You feel me? I'm gonna kill this bitch. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah.
So now you putting your life on the line. You feel me? Like, for real. Or look at it like this. Say something. Say it's like, I'm gonna just put hypothetically. Say my daughter. My daughter. You know what I mean? I love my daughter. Somebody touch my daughter, you feel me? They're gonna have to kill me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're gonna have to. That's the only way. I don't want nobody going to jail. Nothing. You feel me? I don't want my daughter going to the. Come get me. You feel me?
You'll be like
she come and tell me somebody raped her. Yeah, like she come tell me somebody raped her. You know what I mean? Or let's say she go to the police first, and I find out, not knowing she lied.
Mm-hmm.
She run. You feel me? She's not thinking of the consequences, how I'm going to react.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because I might skip right past the police station and go and look for this young man.
Yeah.
You feel me? This young man, I can either take this young man's life or he could take mine. And over a lie, two other lives was wasted. It's out of here.
Yeah.
You feel me? So yeah, it should be, because when something can have such harsh consequences, if your actions can cause such harsh consequences, you should be able to face those type of consequences as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
The punishment should fit the crime.
Yeah.
Hey, before your next show next week, can y'all talk about, I have a request. How about personal revenge, right? As far as like what Clint just said, all right? Taking things into your own hands, taking matters into your own hands. What are the consequences of that? And also, do you think you can still make right after that happens?
So you saying if somebody take the law into their own hands?
Yeah, because we see that every day though. We see that every day on social media. People get like people happen to street justice. What happened to street justice anymore?
Street
People,
justice.
Street justice. You know what I'm saying? The community, standing up for one another and saying, something is wrong, something's got to be done. Instead of everybody just running to the police when the police ain't going to do nothing about it.
Yeah. we've seen a lot of examples of either when it has happened or when it it's the question is, should it happen, in those situations. So, yeah, that's a good topic. Yeah, I know I've seen a lot of that.
I need time to ponder that.
Detroit.
I need time to ponder that.
It's certain situations where that would be acceptable and where it wouldn't be acceptable, though, in my opinion. But, yeah, that's something that we could definitely talk about that definitely needs some deeper thought, deeper clarification before we just hop in and be like, oh, yeah, definitely, or not. Like,
I got to ponder that thought. Yeah, I got to really ponder that.
Yeah, because certain situations, like I'm with Clint. One of my kids told me something like that, I'm going to jail. So, you think about stuff like that, but at the same time, you know how, never know how you're going to react, and it could be a deadly reaction, and you can't take that back. So that's definitely a good topic to talk about. That's definitely something that you can't come into lightly. You got to kind of really think about that.
Yeah. But you guys always come up with good topics, though. I'll be always looking forward to that, man. You guys always come up with good topics, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, brother.
Well, we got to wrap this show up, guys. We got less than a couple minutes. So y'all want to drop y'all info where if people can find y'all?
Yeah, Duke is going to win the national championship March 9th.
If that Duke's going to win the national championship March 9th.
Y'all know where y'all can hit me up at, man. Y'all can hit me on my blog at thekingstruth.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Clint Black, BLAQ, on Twitter at eTrenton Grooming.
Well,
yeah, we already know it's simple as that. JRO6009 everywhere, JRO609. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Google, everywhere.
Willie?
Y'all can catch me at Willie Styles. That's STYLEZ. I'm at Willie Styles everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WillieStyles.info for all my links.
I am Sunny, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Find me.
Catch y'all in 7 days.
Night, guys.
Great show, guys. Great show.
Night.
Peace.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
Bye.
Why pay hundreds more in taxes and fees on your wireless bill? Introducing T-Mobile One, now with taxes and fees included. Get 4 lines for $40 each per month with AutoPay. Switch your family of 4 to T-Mobile and get a $600 prepaid card. It's kind of like a refund on the taxes and fees you paid to those other guys last year. Don't wait. Visit a T-Mobile store.
Top 3% of data users greater than 28 gigabytes per month may notice reduced speeds. Sales tax and regulatory fees included. Effective with February charges via prepaid MasterCard card. See store for details.